Good morning, students. Here Sonu sir with a new video of class 7th English, and our chapter is class 7th chapter 7, our poem Lines Written from Home. So student, this is a poem, and in that, in your course book you have to open page number 56, and students, in that today students we are taking our two stanzas of chapter 7, line returns from home. So students, as the name is there of poem, we can understand these lines is written from home. So that means it's not that is written exactly by from home. This is written from Anne Bronte. She is poetress of this poem, but she has been imagining herself as a home, or a home, how a home can be there, and how the universal concept of a home can be there. How can be a home for a bird? How can be a home for an animal? How can be a home for an insect or any organism or species or caste and creed? So student, this universal concept of home is expressed in this poem. This poem is written by Anne Bronte. Anne Bronte is a girl or woman, and she is Irish poet. That means she belongs to Ireland. And as we know, European country like Ireland has snowy climate. More of their winter season is, and snow is there. And this poem's location is of forest, and that forest is having snow cover. And in that, how the sun rays floated, and how a shelter can be there in that harsh cold, in that harsh winter, in that winter and cold which is not botherable, which is not bearable, and how a man, how a positive person can imagine and think that a home could be at any place, just it is matter of imagination. This is shows in this poem. So students, let us read a poem about a universal concept called home. So as we talk about, this is a universal concept of home, and poetress, if we discuss the introduction of the poetress, she was a novelist also, and she was a poetress also. And this poet or this poet or this poem is totally belongs to nature, but in nature how a home can be findable, a home can be there. This is totally all about. So students, we are going to read our first stanza. Thou bleed these woods and dam the ground. So students, I had said that this location is of a forest. So I am taking each and every word, and if there is English meaning is not sufficient, I will write the meaning of that word also. I will written also. I will explain. So thou bleed these woods and dam the ground. So poetress is saying that how that forest, that winter forest is bleak. What is bleak? Students, cold and without any pleasant or comfortable features. There is hard cold, harsh cold, and there is not any comfortable feature. There is not any comfortable home or shelter to live. So students, poetry says that how anyone could live there. There is harsh cold, there is damp ground, there is damp means watery, watery means numb. If you see in Hindi, that means numb, that means moisture and watery ground because of snow. So the bleak these woods and dam the ground. So there is harsh cold, and the ground is also watery and damp. And not only with snow water, the earth's surface of forest is also damp or watery because of the leaves which is fallen down there on the earth's surface of the forest, and that leaves are also damped. That means they are also wet, and by the snow water they are also wet, and the wetness of earth's surface and the leaves combines each other, so all earth become wet and damp. And thou bleak his roots and damp the ground with fallen leaves so thickly strewn. So there is bleak, there is harsh cold, and at the same time there is damp the ground, there is wet ground by leaves, there is layer of leaves fallen on the ground surface of forest. And the cold wind, what is strewn? Strewn means, students, something scattered around the large. So that leaves are scattered, are floated around the large on that forest, on that wintry forest, and there is no water on that leaves. And cold the wind that wanders round. So the wind which is wanders around, which is floating and travels around there, is harsh cold, is very hard cold, and by that with wild and melancholy mood. So at the same time that that wind is harsh cold, but at the same time that cold wind is not happy. By that cold, she is not happy. She is also had a melancholy moon. That means with wild and melancholy moon. So what is moon? You can see. And what is melancholy? That means very sad. What is moon? That we weep and cry in low voice. We whisper sometime. We we cry and weep in low voice and low sound. That is moon and mourning. So students, there is low weeping, very sad weeping, and at the same time wild. So what we can understand, there is a contradiction, there is a opposition in both thinking of poetess. She at the same time thought about the melancholy moon, the sad voice of air, and at the same time she bids on the wildness of the air. That means that place is alone in solitariness, that place is in melancholy, but that wind has a wild approach because it is so cold. It is so cold for others, but at the same time that wind had a melancholy or a sad voice, and in that there is a friendly roof I know. So in first stanza we discussed about the location of the place. In second stanza it is totally change of the thinking of the poetess. So we have discussed what is bleak. Bleak means harsh cold. If you see in Hindi, Atyadik Thanda. Woods means forest. Okay, this poem is written by N20. And this is universal concept. Sarvatrik vichar of home, and damp means watery and numb wet. So this word I have been wrote in Hindi also, that you can understand the meaning. So students, now we are on second stanza. There is a friendly roof I know. But in that harsh, cold and alone forest, there is a friendly roof. There is a friendly shelter. We discussed sometime, we talk about sometime that there were no any roof to stay at. There were no any shelter. There were no any place to stay. So roof here means shelter. It means that save us from that harsh cold. So in that harsh condition, poetess thinks that and imagines that there would be a home also. There would be a home of relaxation in that harsh and alone winter. There would be a home of relaxation. There would be a friendly roof I know might shield me from the wintry blast. And that friendly roof can what is shield? Shield means covered and give shelter. If there is harsh cold, if there is home, we can attend the shelter, and by that we will save. So there is a friendly roof. I know what the poetry say. There is a home, there is a friendly roof. I know might shield me from the wintry blast, and that home might shield her with a wintry blast. What is wintry blast, students? That air which is in hard cold, harsh cold, and by air of hard cold and harsh cold, anybody can be in problem. So in poetry's imagination, there is a shelter, there is a roof in that alone forest, in that harsh forest, and in between melancholy moan of wind, and there is a fire whose ruddy glow. It is totally the imaginations of poetress. She imagines that there is a fire, also there, and there is a red glow of fire. Ruddy means red, you can say in your word body. There is a fire whose red glow will cheer me for my wandering pasts. So in that harsh winter, poetess considers that in that harsh winter there would be a shelter, there would be a home, and in that nearby home there would be a fire also, there would be a red glow of fire, and on that fire she can cheer herself, she can express her views and thoughts to that fire, she can listen some things from there, she can take a sigh, air of relaxation there, she can imagine a house of peace and loneliness and comfortness, and all features are there which can give a shelter to anyone, which can give a friendly roof to anyone, which can do a better life in solitudeness, which can give a better prospect in the harsh time. So these two stanzas are opposition of each other. In that stanzas, verses are used as 8-6-8-6, means 8 words in first stanza and 6 words in second line of first line will be 8 words, second line will be 6-8-6-8-6, and this two words are contradiction of each other, are opposed of each other. In first poetry show the harshness, the aloneness, the loneliness of forest and woods, and in that how the snowy cover of leaves and all things are there, and in that situation poetess also concern a home, a shelter, a friendly roof, in that she can cheer her wandering past, her activities which she had done, she can discuss, she can express, she can share her views and ideas and opinions and thoughts which she would be wanted to say. So students, we covered 2 stanzas in this video. We will move further in next video. In homework you have to write a short summary of this poem, and you can write about poetry also, and you can write the preface and introduction of this poem, that how this platform of poem prepared. Okay students, so till then, have a nice day. Thank you.